Here I am again, folks, your loved and honored commissioner, here to bring you the Week 12 recap. We're going to kick it off in the matchup. Everybody knew what was going to happen. I was playing against Tony. Let me go ahead and get Karen in the photo here. How you doing over there, Karen? She approves of my annihilation of your crap squad. Just a quick reminder that Dez for Russell Wilson was arguably the worst trade in fantasy history. Tony got bronked. Brady to Gronk. I mean, there's nothing you can do to stop it. Tony has taken a commanding lead this week in the race for the crybaby. It will take a massive effort of complaining for anyone to overcome his astoundingly whiny season. So that's all I got for that matchup. I mean, not much needs to be said. You got crushed. You knew you were going to get crushed. It is what it is. We move forward. So Crabtree destroys Gurley's Gone Wild. So Reese is really on a roll, and it's really behind Carson Wentz and Alvin Kamara. Week in and week out, these guys just putting up huge numbers. Tevin Coleman, what a great job these past 2 weeks filling in with no Devontae Freeman. Although with Freeman coming back, Tevin Coleman moves back to flex status as opposed to the RB1 he's been the last 2 weeks. Joe had a strong week. There's nothing you can do, though. Your opponent scores over 140. What are you supposed to do? Tight playoff race with Joe and Reese still in it. Reese kind of looks like he's locked the spot up, though. He's pretty close to it, putting up a ton of points every week. So be interesting to see these last 2 weeks. It's a big last 2 weeks. Follow the Buzzards defeats Pack Attack. And what a clunker of a game for Pack Attack. His leading scorer was Greg Zerline, the kicker. To be fair, Jason's kicker only finished 16/10 of a point behind Cam Newton. Otherwise, that would have been his lead as well. But Doug Baldwin and T.Y. Hilton laying eggs in super easy matchups, that's got to be frustrating. What do you think? Is that frustrating?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's frustrating, It's frustrating. So also very frustrating was that Drew Brees had a touchdown pass to Mark Ingram called back by a phantom offensive pass interference that was nowhere near the play. But to be fair, you would have lost anyway. So for Jason's squad, nobody exploded for Jason, but everyone did their job with the exception of Evan Ingram, who plays on the worst football team in the history of the world, the New York Giants. So just completely unbiased analysis. They're a horrible football team, and they shouldn't be in the NFL. So Jason is firmly in the playoff race, as is Pack Attack. Again, big next couple of weeks. Brooklyn Brawler edges out John. So I have a few things to say about this one. So number one, this is a heartbreaking loss for John. My condolences. My condolences also to your playoff hopes, because they're over now. You're definitely not making the playoffs. So I'll get into that a little bit more. Julio Jones had a monstrous 38.8 point effort. Jared needed every last point to win. That Chargers D looks fantastic and obliterated the absolutely helpless Dak Prescott, who looks lost. He looks confused. He doesn't know what's going on out there. But Jared, on the negative side, it's time to move on from Devontae Parker. Dude, I know you love your Dolphins, but it's time to move on. The guy's just not scoring any points. John had what looked like the best set of running backs in fantasy, not but a few weeks ago. Now his team is a lot like Bernie Sanders' presidential chances. There's no hope. None. And that's because you took a knee and punted a week against Tony. I told you at the time that was stupid. It was a big controversy in the league. And you're getting what you deserve. You don't deserve to be in the playoffs. And who could have predicted that this would happen? I did. Also, then you go ahead and drop Chris Hogan anyway, who you deemed so valuable that you would rather go ahead and just lose a week than lose Chris Hogan, and now you cut him anyway. I don't know what's going on with you, John. It's like you don't want to win. So Jared has all but eliminated any chance of being the GD for himself this season. So congratulations, Jared. You've graduated from the absolute worst to just one of the worst. Way to go, buddy. Good work. Cash Me Outside murders OJ's Revenge. Mancusi, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Your team is in a death spiral. Both of these teams are front runners for GD/cup bearer duties. Another quick reminder, though, before I get into this, that none of this would be happening if Tony hadn't given Steve Russell Wilson for Dak or for Dez Bryant. If that trade doesn't happen, Steve is 2 games back right now and has already locked down the GD. The only team that being said, the only team whose running back situation is worse than John's is Steve. Orleans Darkwa and Alfred Morris are horrendously bad, and you don't have the moves to fix it. Ha! The funny thing is congratulations. I got to say, before I get into this, congratulations on your win this week. That's a big win for you. If you would have lost, you would have locked down the GD. It would have been yours. But your slot as cup bearer or GD is all but guaranteed. You have to bend the knee this next coming week to the commish, and then the following week you play Pack Attack, and I don't see you winning that game either. So you're going to lose both of those games. Now, the plus side for you is I don't see how in the world Mancusi can win another game. I just don't. So if Mancusi loses both games, he will be the GD. However, you're going to be the cup bearer, and just imagine if I win the title and you have to be my cup bearer, how annoying that's going to be, because I'm going to be worse than King Joffrey ever imagined. So there you go. That's all I got for you guys. One last thing, though. Mancusi, stop it with Marcus Mariota. Just stop it. The guy's terrible. That's all I got for you guys this week, and I will see you tomorrow with the matchup previews.